next.
I'm Andrew Fluegelman. I have made some money giving away software for free. And I'm also connected with a couple of big magazines who are supported by advertisers who don't give their software away for free. And I'm interested in trying to figure out what the connection is.
I think Andrew was an inspiration to many people who didn't even know him well or work directly with him very much by his example. He's somebody who had a good education and a rather traditional career, decided to forego the corporate lawyer avenue that he started out in, and to carve out some new territories.
Unless he did fly and I didn't know about it, that's about the only thing that I can think of that Andrew didn't do. He was really a Renaissance man. He did lots of things, and he did most of them very well. He was a musician, played guitar, he was a kayaker, he certainly was a programmer, a lawyer, a book producer and publisher, and probably knew more about just about any subject you could imagine than almost anyone I've ever known.
No, I didn't introduce Andrew to the computer. I had a computer pre-IBM PC's announcement or existence. A friend had helped me get a CP/M computer for word processing. And Andrew was interested in computers, but they were too much in the hacker, build-it-yourself mode. And when the IBM computer was announced, he had determined he wanted to get one. He went down to see it, and it was, I think, love at first sight.
I had owned my computer for about a month, and I was trying to send my files to someone using a completely different computer. There was not one piece of software in the entire world that would let me do that. And I stayed up for a lot of nights and figured out a way to do it.
Public domain software, as it's commonly called, had been in existence before then. Probably even some programs for the IBM, though PC Talk is one of the very early ones. The term freeware, to my knowledge, originated with Andrew, and the concept of, hey, if you like this, send me a couple of bucks, originated with Andrew. And that fits in very well, I think, with his view of how the world takes care of itself and his kind of, I'm not going to worry about it and the world will take care of me.
I tell people that whether they like it or not, give it to a friend, and if their friend likes it, then maybe they'll send me some money. I would guess that about 1/10 of the people who are using the program now have paid for it. And there are a lot of commercial software companies that can't make that claim.
Ironically, Andrew was probably the first person I've ever met that could make a substantial amount of money by giving something away. I often felt he should have renamed the thing Guiltware, because he would get, people would just be so amazed by this program, and I think they'd go out and steal copies of WordStar and DBase 2, and I guess SuperCalc was out there, and Lotus 123. I mean, people were trading in those like commodities on the illegal black market and kind of getting off on the fact they were ripping off companies. But to rip off Andrew Fluegelman, and how can you steal something that's free? You love it, and you send them a check. I knew people who paid for. I knew people who had enormous software libraries, and PC Talk was the only program they paid for.
I very clearly remember a conversation that we had in which he told me that I really had to get a computer, that it was the wave of the future, and that anyone who thought like I did would love computers. And I'm demurring on my side of the guy, saying, I'm sure they're wonderful. And he said, no, you don't understand. It's like being a teenage boy and having a hot rod in the car to tinker with. He said, you can make it go faster, you can do anything you want with it.
Talking back and forth, we would come up with all sorts of ideas of things that we could do back in 1982 to make our computer, as Andrew would say, go around on two wheels around corners and really, really kind of scream. He used to like to use a race car analogy. And often we'd be chatting back and forth, and one of us would come up with an idea of a routine. It might be a simple little batch file that you could write in 3 or 4 lines using a text editor, or it might be a a 10-line basic program, some simple little routine for maybe erasing a file or backing something up or maybe dialing the telephone or something that we kind of thought was useful, at least at the time. And we talk about these things and I'd say, you know, Andrew, this is a great product. This product is more useful than a lot of the software that people go out and buy. And then he'd say, yeah, but what can we charge for it? It only took me, 2 or 3 minutes to write the program. And so he finally thought about it for a while. He says, I guess we have a new category. We'll call it the 29-cent program.
There's no question in my mind that if we could learn anything from Andrew's work in the computer industry, is that he set very high expectations for what personal computers should be doing for people. Not just for the technology by itself, but that the computers really should be doing things for people. And if the computers can't do it by themselves, then get the knowledgeable people to program the computers and make those machines do something useful and practical for people. And if that isn't the perfect legacy for the computer industry, I don't know what is.
The excitement that he generated for me and then for many other people among the computer world, I saw his influence grow, and I saw that kind of attitude and creativity that he had really, really affect a lot of people. It didn't really surprise me, but every once in a while I would sort of look up and I would be hearing the name Andrew Fluegelman from another corner in a different way, and I would think, aha, there's Andrew, at it again.